Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6, and this is going to be my review for Episode 10, the mid-season premiere, otherwise entitled Marathon. But of course, before we get into anything else, if you've not watched the episode, don't continue, because there's spoilers. So yeah, don't watch this if you haven't watched the episode, because that'd be stupid. But last episode, well, previously to this episode, we had Crisis, and then also we had the conclusion of the Bloodwork arc. And also throughout that first part of the season, we'd also had the introduction of this mysterious organization, which, you know, if you'd watched any videos from me or other people that sort of knew the comics, you'd know it's Blackhole. We all knew it was Blackhole. They showed the goddamn emblem. We're pretty much just waiting for them to actually say Blackhole in the show. That happens in the episode. We'll jump into that. But yeah, so we had the Bloodwork arc and then obviously Crisis. Oliver Queen died, F or L in the chat, whichever one you think is more appropriate. But Barry didn't die. That's the main thing to take from Crisis. And I guess the fact that the Earths merged and we're on Earth Prime, which has a couple of different Earths merged together. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know all of your various opinions on the episode in the comment section down below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. What did you think of the ending of the episode? What was your favorite part of the episode? Just, you know, leave your general thoughts down there. And of course, if you're going to enjoy my review, enjoy the video, and you enjoyed the episode, want to drop a like on it to show support and well, enjoyment, I guess you could say. Now, the first thing, we see that Jitters is reopening. Obviously, I think it was in the first episode, Jitters got absolutely, well, it got sort of flossed on, to be completely honest, by, well, a black hole, I guess you could say, from Chester P. Rung. So they finally reopened, only took a couple of months. But the Flash is there to save the day. I think that guy that came in was the same guy that Ralph took down on his first mission. I think actually he's maybe been 2 episodes where Ralph's taken him down. This is, you know, this time around, we've got the Flash taking him down. And did he have alien tech? I don't know if that was... If it's said in the episode, it must have been said really quickly in passing. But did he have alien tech? It sort of looked like that. Maybe they might jump into that as the season goes on, but his gun was it was interesting. Now, one of the cooler things in the episode, to start it off at least, was the new intro. It's pretty long. I don't know if we're going to get it every week. I think we might just get like that new emblem thing, and I think it was maybe just... Or maybe at the beginning of the episode we get it. I don't know. I guess it depends on timing for the episode, if it's, you know, running too close to 45 minutes or something like that. But we have this new intro where it shows all the characters like zooming in, that has like the new logo, which looks really cool. It's just a bit long. I don't know if we'll get the whole thing, but it was cool seeing it. I got pretty excited when it came up. Now, we do have this like new timeline post-Crisis. They have like on the board and everything. I didn't get to have a look at it properly when the episode was going past. It was going through pretty quickly. I'll probably do a video over the next couple of days trying to find every single little bit on the timeline, and then we'll go over it. So not going to really spend too much time on that here. I'll do that in a video over the next couple of days or over the weekend, one of the two. So keep your eyes out for that. But pretty much the main thing that's said is like all the new heroes are here, and there's different things going along with that. So Black Lightning's here, the Kryptonians are here, and everything like that. But along with them and the new heroes that are here, there's also new villains. There's also aliens, as I said, like the alien tech maybe that guy had earlier on. I don't know. And also, one of the big things, there's old villains that are returning and they're changed around or they're upgraded or certain things like that. Or maybe the different people where they fit that same sort of alias, which sort of lines up with what happens in this episode as well. So that's obviously not the best for Team Flash, but I guess for those villains that are coming back or maybe are changed and they're different people, it's good for them. But yeah, it's a bit of a L for Team Flash, a bit of a W for them. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out in the rest of the season. Hopefully we see some returning villains. That'd be pretty cool. But speaking of returning characters, Diggle, our good old mate John Diggle, comes to Central City. Obviously, Arrow finished last week, but he comes in, and this Diggle is from a week before the Arrow's finale. So he's going to move to Metropolis in a week, and pretty much they move to Metropolis straight after the funeral in Arrow's finale. So this Diggle doesn't have whatever was in that box in the Arrow finale. But what he does bring is the mask that Barry gave Oliver back in season 2 of Arrow, and on the mask is a bit of a mark, which Barry feels is like a message or a clue from Oliver to set up like some sort of fantabulous little mission and an adventure for himself and I guess now Diggle, which does commence here. Now, you'd actually think going to this episode that this would be the main thing, but some of you guys might know this, some of you might not, but Crisis was still filming at the time this episode was filming, so obviously Grant Gustin, who plays Barry Allen, was all in on Crisis, so that's why he's hardly in the episode. That's why he's in like 4 or 5 scenes that aren't really overly long outside of maybe the 2 Diggle ones and maybe the last one as well. So that's why that whole storyline wasn't that intense and didn't take up much time. Crisis was being filmed, so yeah. But we do have Iris meeting with a source about this mysterious organization. Now, this source is Dr. Husk. who is from the comics. He is connected to Blackhole in the comics as well. But this source worked for McCulloch Technologies, and they finally called the mysterious organization Blackhole. Finally, I was just waiting for it, and they finally did it. So better now than in like 4 episodes. There's like some big reveal, because it's not that big of a reveal. But they have been operating, since just after the particle accelerator incident, so taking advantage of metahumans and everything like that. And due to all this investigating, Iris is the next target, so it's not good for her, is it? Now, we do have Iris meeting with Joseph Carver, once again, another connected character from the comics, who is connected to the Blackhole storyline, obviously, from the comics, but here he is with McCulloch Tech, even though it's obvious that, like, those two companies are connected, or those two organizations are connected. Now, he asks Iris, like, yo, can you not run this story, please? It'd be very nice if you couldn't do that, but Iris is like, how about no, take an L, and declines that request. So, he's not happy. Just puts an even bigger target on Iris's head, and let's just say the target was already the size of, it's the size of something big, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, it just gets bigger, and it's not good for her. Now, one of the feistier, if you want to call it, altercations in this episode was definitely Cisco versus Nash. Throughout this argument, Cisco apparently just confirms that Harry and Jesse are 100% dead, which sort of, you get the hint at due to the fact that Nash was alive on Earth Prime, and Earth 2 as we knew it is gone. Like, it's a new Earth 2 that we have. Like, we know it, they don't, obviously. On Team Flash, they think the multiverse is completely gone. So, I think they said that Jesse's going to be mentioned multiple times throughout the season. I'm guessing that's because Wally comes in and stuff like that as well. But maybe they might chuck a surprise in there. Maybe Harry and Jesse are alive? I don't know. But Cisco obviously isn't happy with Nash because just of what Nash did and everything before Crisis and all that. Now, Dr. Husk, which was, as I said before, was the source that Iris met up with, he's actually killed by the assassin from Blackhole, which I was calling the lady with the lights, I think, in my trailer breakdown. Now, before he dies, he says mirror as he's dying. I think that's all he says is mirror. Now, it's actually revealed that Dr. Kamio Hoshi is the assassin that killed him, who is actually the female Dr. Light from the comics, and is the new Dr. Light on the show as donned by Cisco. As soon as they said that she was this assassin, I was like, oh, well, she's Dr. Light, and then they drew it all back with the power, like the gun she was using was like all the light stuff and everything like that. I was like, okay, well, there you go, Dr. Light. Which I thought, it fit in, and she was actually one of the people in the book that Cisco had there at the beginning of the episode. So it fits in. I wonder if there's going to be any other interesting characters within that book as well. Now, the Diggle and Barry case was pretty underwhelming, I'm not going to lie, but I'm not too surprised because there was so much stuff going on this episode with mainly the Iris storyline. Like, really, the Iris storyline in this episode could have been the whole episode, and I still think, wow, a lot happened, even if it was just her stuff. This episode felt like it was maybe 2 or 3 episode stories in one episode. It was a lot going on. That's pretty ironic considering the title of the episode was Marathon. The whole, I guess, like the message going along was, it's a sprint, not a marathon. Life's a sprint, not a marathon. But this episode was getting through it really quickly. But I guess just post-crisis, there was just a lot going on. So I understand them getting through a decent amount of this fairly quickly. But in regards to the Diggle and Barry case, as I said, it was a bit underwhelming. But we have Oliver's mask, and it had traces of Mirakuru on it, which led them to the Lian Yu trip. But Diggle then reveals the events that happened in Season 3 of Arrow when Oliver came to Lian Yu with his younger sister Thea, and he was wearing his suit complete with mask. And that's, how the soil got on the mask. So essentially, Barry was sort of looking for something that was never there. He thought, oh, it's all this message, it's this mystery and everything like that. And this sort of leads Joe and Diggle, Joe West, obviously, to have like the same message towards both Barry and Iris throughout the episode, where essentially like life is a marathon, not a sprint, as I was saying before, which I thought was, fairly decent. I liked the fact they had the parallels because of what Iris was doing and trying to get through this, this crackdown on Black Hole and everything like that, trying to get through it super, super quick, where it's getting to the point where, well, if you're just running straight forward into like a battlefield, you're probably going to get shot down. So, just take your time. Take your time, Iris, please. Take your time. Otherwise, your head might get blown off, one of the two. Now, we do see a message from Harry Wells from the former Earth 2, and he was sort of like regaining his intelligence, and you just have Cisco thinking over his decision to give up his powers. If he kept them, maybe he could have like sensed the antimatter wave, sensed Crisis, and being able to save those close to him on different Earths. But I did really like the Caitlin and Cisco conversation. Usually the Caitlin and Cisco conversations are up there with some of the best. It's pretty much Barry and Joe, and then probably Caitlin and Cisco. That's probably, and I guess maybe Cisco and, I guess, whatever Wells is there. Maybe not Cisco and Nash at the moment. But maybe towards the end of the season, Cisco and Nash might be up there. But usually it's, Joe and Barry and then Caitlin and Cisco, they're usually like the I guess like the god tier, if you want to call it, conversations. And we get another one this episode where we basically have, Caitlin just sort of convincing Cisco to find his new calling in this new world, and I guess go about researching the new metas in this world and everything like that. I don't know how long Cisco's gone for. I don't think he's going to be gone for the whole season. I think it's just more like he'll be gone for a couple of episodes while other storylines play out, which we see what happen all the time. Like Ralph was gone in this episode. That's because he would have been hard to fit him into the episode, but then he'll be relevant in episodes to come. But we do have Cisco asking Nash to hold down the fort, if you want to say. And then we get a pretty big reveal, which I think some of us were predicting, but we see that Allegra is the doppelganger of Nash's daughter, most likely. It seems that it's his daughter. If it's his girlfriend or partner, then we got a bit of a sugar daddy situation going on there, potentially. But it's most likely his daughter, and as we were suspecting on the channel in the first half, that was probably going to be the case. And it seems like it's going to be an emotional arc there. I'm interested to see how that plays out with Nash as well as Allegra. Now, we do have the hologram Iris in the West household again. The holograms are a bit old. We've seen it a lot on the show, but it sort of worked here because of Iris pretty much, giving Joseph Carver, let's be honest, probably the biggest L of the episode. I know I say L a lot of times, but I think with the Flash, it just really works. But yeah, gives him a bit of an L, where she reveals to him that she knows, like, yo, I know you're Blackhole, like, what's going on here? And also that she has a dead man switch on her, as well as the rest of the team, which I thought was maybe a bit far. Maybe her, but like a dead man switch, really. But anyway, go with the flow, I guess you could say. Essentially, if one of them dies, it will release the news or the proverbial diss track on McCulloch Technologies, and I guess mainly on Blackhole and everything like that. Luckily for Killer Frost, she's able to use her abilities to stop the weapon hit. I saw her get hit, and I was like, did she get hit by one of those, like that thing that melts people away, like the whole disintegrating weapon, or she just get hit by like some sort of dummy bullet or something like that? But it's like, oh no, she got hit with it, and her powers just sort of stopped it from, I guess, melting her away. And I guess lucky for her again, the threat from Iris allows Joseph Carver to call off the gift basket, I think he was calling it, whatever it was, the attack. Let's just call it the attack. But I must say, the cliffhanger scene at the end of this episode must be the longest cliffhanger end scene I think we've had on the show. I might be wrong, but it went for so long, but it was good. So we had Iris looking in the mirror, waking up in the middle of the night, looking in the mirror, and remembering what Dr. Husk said when he said mirror when he was dying. And she also remembers the AV3 from McCulloch Technologies. Now, I thought it was a bit of a stretch for her to like randomly connect the dots really quickly there. Maybe if Joseph Carver had said something, but he more just gave her like a dodgy look. So I don't know, we'll go with it. As I said, there was a lot going on this episode. It was like 2 or 3 episodes in one, or storylines in one, so I guess I had to get through it. But the AV3 from McCulloch Technologies, she puts it on a notepad, puts it in the mirror, and it says Ava, or Eva. I think it's Eva, that's probably the best way to put it. And she finds out that Eva McCulloch is missing, which then leads her to going into McCulloch Tech, into that office, and she gets sucked into the mirror, or not sucked into, the Silver Surfer or something comes out and grabs her and pulls her into the mirror. And I was like, okay, obviously that's Eva McCulloch most likely in there, but what the hell's going on? What's happening with Iris in the next episode? Because she's in it, and she's a main part of it as well. So I'm super intrigued to see what is going on with Iris next episode. And it's crazy. They've made Iris the most interesting character on the show at this point. I know people might disagree with me because I know some people have like a deep down hatred for the character, but Eric Wallace has done really well with her in the first half to lead her into this back half, where you sort of are so interested in what Iris is doing that it just makes her the most interesting character on the show. I'm sure Barry will take that reign back probably in a couple of episodes, but at the moment, this is Iris's story arc, really. She's got the main arc. So I think they're doing a pretty good job with it, but I'm intrigued as hell to see what they do in the next couple of episodes with her. But overall, I saw people saying it was the best episode. I think it was, as I said, the irony of the episode being called Marathon and them rushing through a lot of things. I think it's hard to call it the best episode, but I think it's probably number 2. I don't think you can beat the episode 7, which was the first part of the Bloodwork finale thing, the Last Temptation of Barry Allen Part 1. I think that's too good. That was pretty much almost like a 10 out of 10 episode. So this gets close though. I hate rating episodes, but I'd say it's probably number 2 for this season. It was very good, even though it was rushed. Even though the Barry stuff was a bit underwhelming, due to whole crisis filming and stuff like that, I don't think they could really avoid it. But it gets you intrigued as to this new Earth Prime, what's going on. And I think the most important thing, they've made Iris super interesting. And you got to remember back to like season 3 and 4 and even 5, that wasn't really a thing. So the fact that they've been able to do that is actually really like, I know, you just got to give him a round of applause, I guess. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on the episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite parts in the episode? And what are your thoughts on what's going to go on with Iris in the next couple of episodes? Do you think we got a different Iris? Like it's going to be like a mirror dimension Iris, or it's going to be like an Iris slightly affected by what happened to her at the end of this episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys. If you're new to the channel, obviously, won't forget that. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.